Happy Wednesday, December 15th. We're normally on Tuesday. We moved to Wednesday because we got a very special guest with Simon Collins from USYS. He's the National League Commissioner, so that's pretty exciting. And as always, we're joined by the rock skipping champion of Canton, Missouri. So that's Tyler Tomlinson. And so we're going to, rock skipping champion. Only knocked out 5 kids at the time. So, and today,
I got 4 skips.
4 skips. Those things do move pretty fast. I bet you could knock someone out.
Not a lot of athletic people around.
All right, and today's so the topic today is USYS and the National League. We talked about the different leagues last week and what that looks like, and so now we're going to talk to the commissioner of the National League and get some more insight. And then we're also going to talk about the worst gifts you can give your coach. The worst Christmas gift guess you can give a coach. Today's episode is brought to you by Park Place Java. Did you give that to your wife?
Yes, she was very happy.
Good. Park Place Java. Go to parkplacejava.com and you can subscribe and all that fun stuff. So we're going to get started here. And this is Cap Chat. Coming into the holiday season, and we're going to talk about the worst gifts. Simon Collins is doing some cartwheels over there, and so he is the National League Commissioner. So we're going to talk to him shortly here after Tyler and I get through our worst gifts to give someone. Worst Christmas gifts. We're going to skip Tyler's trends. I know that's a big deal there, but we're going to skip Tyler's trends so we can spend some more time with Simon. So it's a pretty big thing. But so we're coming into, I don't know if we have to technically call it a holiday gift. I'm going to call it a Christmas gift. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Hey, are you still doing your Christmas card thing with Desi?
No, we retired those. We've had a lot of questions, and I offered, if she wants to host alone, we'll make it happen. But
those are great.
Didn't happen.
Those were fantastic. Tyler would open up all the Christmas cards live and get Desi's reaction, and I sent the Mr. Hanky one, I think. Howdy ho.
Yes, you did. And as you know, Josh, our Christmas cards tripled in those years that she was reading them on Facebook. So we've gone back down to normal levels again.
That was one of the great things, man. That was so funny. That's why you do what you do. So, all right. So we're gonna get into we're gonna get into the Christmas the top 6 really. So Tyler has 3, I have 3. We'll go back and forth, and we're going to talk about the worst Christmas gifts that you can give. You can give a coach here. So we're gonna do that and get moving here. So Tyler, you want to start with?
I do, Josh. The number 3 worst Christmas gift for a coach is going to be that special piece of paper. It's so wonderful this time of year. That says, "This is my release for transfer form." It's not a gift certificate. I mean, it is a gift certificate to some school, just not your school.
All wrapped up.
There's millions of those going around this time of year.
Wrapped up with a bow.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Man, you went a little. Wow, that's a kick.
Your free pass to the portal.
That's a kick in the shins. There is what that is.
Yeah. Tough one to start with.
My number 3 worst gift to give a coach is a whistle. I think a whistle. Yeah, I think a whistle is not a good gift to give a coach.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
I'll piggyback that one for my number 2.
Did you pick whistle as well?
Well, I did not choose a whistle. No, it's something that may be considered more condescending in tone, and that is a pair of new glasses. Simple. Yet maybe you should take a look at these, and maybe they'll help you look at me.
No, I could see that. I could see that being condescending. Okay. My number 2 is Coaching for Dummies 101. The yellow book, Coaching for Dummies, is
we're just straight down the cliche highway right now.
I know. I like my last one though, so we. I think Santa likes this one too.
Now, is that a Santa laughing, or is it just like some?
I think that's Santa for
like
sure.
Your brother,
right?
It's like your brother in Southern Missouri or something.
It's some homeless guy. I said, "Do you want some money?"
record. You have a good laugh. Yeah. So the number 1 worst Christmas gift for Coach for me is a 5-day all-expense getaway with your favorite parent, Karen. Wouldn't we all want that trip?
All expense wherever you want to go, right?
That's real. Well, probably wherever Karen wants to go is how it would go.
Yeah, you probably
wouldn't have much say on the trip.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So my number 1 worst gift to give a college coach, Old Spice.
You're hinting that coaches smell.
Well, and it's Old Spice. It's a bad. I think it's a bad gift in general. I think if I got Old Spice, I think that's a safe. Anything you get in the dollar bin from Walmart, it probably is not the best.
Has Old Spice dropped that low on the totem pole? It's on the Dollar General store.
I don't know. Probably. I don't know. They only have one cent. I think it's just old. Now I do like their soap.
They have a lot of body wash.
Yeah, I do like their body wash.
But I see what you're going with. They only have 1 cent for cologne. It's just Old Spice.
Just Old Spice.
And that's all you got.
Exactly, and you know it immediately. Like that's Old Spice. So Simon, if you
Fair
want
enough.
Old Spice,
I actually like that one. That's pretty funny. You caught me off guard with that one.
Yeah. My other one was Rogaine, but I skipped that one. So, but
too close to home.
Yeah. All right, so we have Simon Collins here with U.S. Youth Soccer, the National League Commissioner here. Simon, are we? Can you hear us over here?
I can hear you.
Fantastic. Well, welcome to Cap Chat. We're sitting here talking so we've been talking about the different leagues and all the different leagues that have been popping up. I'm sure you're well aware of all these leagues. And, we talked about it last week, and even since then, we found a few more leagues that we forgot about. And but really want to start with, talk with you specifically. So thanks for taking the time and help teach us what the National League is. And Tyler's coming from the College Coast perspective. I'm in the club world, and I know we have a few of our Rush clubs that are involved with National League, but I want to kind of talk about what National League is and the advantages of it and what makes it great. So, Simon, I'll let you kind of just give us an overview of what the National League is, or if you want to start with what U.S. Soccer is, or whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah, no, it's thanks for having me on, and first and foremost, I'll apologise. We're part of the mess. Also, we contribute to the acronym soup, as we call it. Sometimes they throw a bunch of letters together, and there you go. You've got a national platform. We all win. No, it's so National League is obviously part of US Youth Soccer, and it's the apex of what US Youth Soccer offers. So to just give you a quick high-level snapshot of a youth player's potential journey, they would start within their clubs, within the recreational program at the grassroots level, progress through member affiliate leagues within their state association, on to the state level leagues. Then they would play their regional, the opportunity to play regionally in one of our National League conferences, which we have 13 of those that are nationally aligned across the country. And then from each of them 13, 2 clubs have the opportunity to be promoted into National League Pro, which is what's just happened this past weekend down at Disney's Wide World of Sports. From that, the winners of National League Pro, they have direct access into the USYS National Champion Series. So So that's kind of a high-level summary of how all the layers kind of tier up on top of each other.
So here's my ignorance here. Tyler, I'll take the dumb question so you look smart still. So you got 13 conferences. So 2 teams from each National League conference then get promoted to National League Pro.
We have around 480 teams across the country that earn their spots into National League Pro each year. So within the National League, we've got around 80,000 players that's participating on an annual basis just in National League alone. So that's and then below National League, we've all the state association affiliate members. That's a 2.83 million player database of kids that's trying to make sport great in this country.
And
so National League Pro then is the highest level within your organization that youth can participate and compete
at this current moment in time.
And then
yeah, it's right up there with we've just had an event going on this weekend, and we just to throw some acronym soups right out you straight off the bat. It's right up there with the MLS Next. We've got teams where the players play on similar platforms and other US club offerings and so on and so forth. So it's we find that the youth player tends to participate on multiple platforms because the clubs want to keep their hand in with all major offerings that's in and around at this moment in time.
And how do clubs get involved with National League? Is an entire, if I just have a one-off team, can I join National League, or is it all of or who am I wearing today? All of Maryland Rush has to be involved with the National League?
No, not at all. There's a pathway for all. I think what's really important about US Youth Soccer, we have a hashtag which I think is really powerful, which is earn your place. So you don't have to be politically connected. You don't have to ask a favor of anybody to get in. What the kids do on a field is really important. So they are the ones that, based on their performances, will earn their way into National League Pro. It's not an invite only platform. It's a genuine league based. You do the business on the field, and you've got the opportunity to progress to the next level.
So a one-off team, a 2006 girls team, could join. Let's say they're with, I'll just say Missouri Rush, and they could join National League just as an individual team, or does all of Missouri Rush have to join? Sorry for my ignorant questions. This is
no. It's we have 2 pathways.
Okay.
So as we all know in the youth market, there's the large clubs, really big juggernaut clubs that's got multiple teams at multiple age groups, and they are what they are. They have their place in the game, and there's a club-based model for that. So for them to help with their administration and get the coaches from A to B, because it's not easy being on 3 or 4 fields at the same time. We have a club-based model that accommodates that particular environment. The one that you're referencing, the individual team, they could also go down the team v team track. But eventually, at some point within the pyramid or within the tiered system, the top club-based team and the top team-based team will have to come head-to-head to see who progresses.
Interesting. Okay. I like the progression there. And for me, I feel, Tyler, I don't know, this is more directed to you because I know Simon's answer. I feel when you're looking at this alphabet soup of of leagues, I feel USYS or US Youth Soccer carries more clout because they have an established name, as opposed to, I don't want to pick on USSSA or whatever that is, but like US Club has USYS has a name. I mean, do you feel that way, Tyler, as a college coach, when you're looking like, okay, this league is probably pretty good because this sanctioning body's been around for a while, or am I?
Yeah, I mean, the way that I look at it is there's like probably 4 or 5 that I would say, yeah, okay, this is a legitimate, organized opportunity for recruitment, and that's with, there's on top of that, things that were letters that don't hold as much weight anymore, like an ODP type of situation or something like that. So it does come to a point where the stability of an organization or group does matter for the longevity of like, hey, we are serious about this brand, and this brand is going to be able to hold on to what we're doing. I think that matters in the whole process of these things. So it's hard for me to sit and rank every single group or organization right now. So I would say, yeah, there are about 4 or 5 that I would trust and say like, okay, we're getting some good experience for those kids within those organizations.
Yeah.
Tyler, I'd jump in on that one as well. The Development Academy has been around, 12 years or so before they finally decided that US Soccer decided that it were not for them anymore.
Yeah.
I think that were a major kind of pivotal moment, if you will, that showed just how fragile the youth market is. If an organization like that could find itself in a position where it needed to withdraw from that particular space. And I think with that in mind, there's and COVID kind of forced a lot of this stuff onto us, and sorry for bringing that up so early in the conversation. Lots of organizations popped up to try and formulate homes for these clubs that were in a real tricky position, to be quite honest with you. And also a few organizations popped up to become somewhat opportunist as well.
Yeah.
But what we find is, and again, just being really, really real and transparent, is what's the infrastructure behind some of these organizations? If USU Soccer peeled away the National League, it would still be a significant player in the youth soccer market because of its infrastructure, its 54 state associations, and the hundreds of thousands of players that play within them state associations also. So we're in a position where we're not trying to throw ourselves in there as being the top, because we already have the infrastructure to say, hey, there's a home for every level of player under US Youth Soccer. If you are competing at the elite level, it's this. If you just play because you want to play with your peers and your friends and you just want to have a bunch of fun, then there's that level for you also. And both of them are okay. I think sometimes we get stuck in a situation where everybody must play at an elite level. Well, no, not necessarily. Everybody should play because first and foremost, they enjoy the game. Mm-hmm. And then where that takes from there, that's a bonus, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what you think, Tyler.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know it is different for me, just coming from a college perspective rather than a club perspective. Because like Josh has said many times, that's not necessarily my expertise to break down each organization and tell you who's got the best kids versus not have the best kids. Developmentally, I'm 100% in favor of developing every kid. And that's important to me, whether they're the best elite kid or whether they're not. And I think that, hearing that's one of the things for you guys that matters is important to know when looking at the organization as a whole. So, yeah, I like that. From a college perspective, too, I'm at a college and, Simon, a lot of colleges and universities are moving this way. We're tuition-driven institutions, and we used to be able to just carry 18 to 20 kids on a roster, and those days are completely gone. And I can cite a lot of examples at any level. You look at like a Marshall last year for the men's side, they had 45 kids on the roster. There's just changes, and there's the opportunities and the growth just at the college game of getting kids to those levels. You can't all be from the same league and the same team, right? So you're going to have to find your kids in different areas and different developmental organizations. So I think it's important to understand that those are out there. But I think, one of the things that I wanted to get into, and sorry, Josh, from hijacking this, but, is how do we foster that relationship between, your organization and the colleges to better, serve those pathways for all those kids.
No, well, Josh, I'm going to apologize again because it looks like me and Tyler just going straight into it, mate. So,
No, hey, this is exactly what it's for, and to understand this, and because I know it's a challenge for college coaches trying to grasp these leagues, and we do feel, even me on the club level, we do feel stupid when they said, Tyler just said, one of the recruits got bumped up to the National League Pro. And he's like, I got to figure what this is, because we seem stupid. Like
right before, Simon, I'm not kidding you. Like right before you joined, I just got an email that said, hey, my team was in the Premier Midwest Conference, and now we've bumped up to National Pro League. So that was ironically timed.
No, it's great that some of these kids are getting some of the opportunities that's out there right now. And the one thing to also be conscious of is the cost, because it's not cheap to get yourself to certain venues so you can provide yourself an opportunity to be seen by you guys. And then also it's how does them kids present themselves so before they turn up to the event, you kind of have an idea of what you're looking at. And there's lots of organizations out there right now that they're trying to dip into the same well and pull money out of it to try and get these kids scholarships and so on and so forth. And I'm not necessarily in full agreement with that, because what a kid does on the field determines whether you, Tyler, think is a good fit for your program. And then also you've got the academic side of things and so on and so forth. So one of the things that we're looking at now is, how do we make your job easier as a college coach? How do we make things a little bit more predictable based on what's currently in your program and who's going to age out, who's going to graduate? You mentioned about transfers and so on and so forth. As we know, kids sometimes don't fit and they have to move somewhere else, and you need to have your finger on the pulse of what's next, what's out there, what can I pull in, how do I know who's going to be in my program for the next 2-3 years, and then who do I know is going to fill my right-sided midfielder, because I know that position is going to become available in 2 years. So what we're trying to work on is, how do we make that a little bit more predictable, and how do you access that so you can see the peaks and valleys of a player's development over a period of time, which makes it a little less desperate for, and a little less panicky for mum and dad, because they're able to be seen by you guys more frequently. And I know that the communication thing's a huge issue, and what you're allowed to do and not to do. So if we can present that in a way that doesn't give you any headaches or cause you any concerns, but you're able to track that, then we're doing our job and we're giving the players the best opportunity they can. And we've got various partners. We've got a huge announcement coming out in the convention in a month or so's time, which we're super excited about. And hopefully, I sound like a character from Star Wars. It's like, bring some clarity to the Force. It's like, it's such a frigging mess. There's so much going on, and it's like, it needs cleaning up, and hopefully we're taking a huge step to try and do that.
And you're announcing that in the convention in Kansas City. So we're trying to get on Podcast Row up there. So maybe you can, right afterwards, we'll have you back on the show to talk about your big announcement.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
See? Hey.
Yep.
Wait, Josh, did you just say I have to do a show while I'm there? You were going to make me work?
I mean, dude, we gotta feed our sponsors.
Oh, okay. Fine.
No, we actually are looking at the Podcast Row. So what is this? So on the college thing, so when I was looking at the National League Pro, and you had this big event down there in Orlando, is that? It seems, I mean, that in theory is some of the best going down there. So for a college coach, you look at that, that's probably a pretty good, because it's U15 and above. And I'm looking at the teams there. There's some good teams. So in theory, you're saying, okay, these are some of the best that's happening, and come to this pro event. Is that kind of accurate?
It's untapped at this moment in time as well. Which and apologies for the dog barking in the background, by the way. I was talking to one of the clubs, Alley Cats, from up in the northeast, and I was chatting away with one of the colleges that was sitting on the sideline, and I think 9 out of the 11 starting lineups were already committed to colleges, which is absolutely amazing. So one of the things that we're like, okay, what's next? Where do you go next? And then also one of the things that we're considering is, who do they play next? Why do they need to go to another event? They've already committed. So it's like keeping these clubs in and around the organisation and the competition, because that then gives other teams the opportunity to play against these clubs that are really, really good, by the way, and are drawing some attention from colleges, just so it causes the college coach that problem of, did I get this one right? Have I missed somebody? And that's kind of a good problem for some of the colleges to have, if they're second guessing what they've got. And there's a potential other recruit that could be better than the one they've already committed to.
Right.
And so you look at one of the things that, and I think I'm grasping this here. So we talk about I don't the flow and the pyramid that you have within US youth soccer. USYS is that, so you start with the regional league, and then inside, which is I guess called the Midwest the conferences. So now you have the Midwest Conference that they're starting, and that's regionally. And then inside of that, I'm looking at just you look at U16 girls. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 different levels inside of that. And what the good thing of the Midwest Conference is, or these local conferences, is that you're not flying all over Timbuktu to play a game, which is huge. Because if you're in ECNL, I'm not knocking ECNL, but you're flying to California. We talked about this last week, Tyler. Is that you're flying to California, and most kids go pretty close to home, and now you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars a month to fly over the world, and there's a league right in front of you that you can stay relatively close, and so you'll go. And then the tier system, and you keep moving up this change, right? In Midwest Conference, so you go from, I'm looking at Premier 2, then you go to Premier 1, and then you get into Club B Club. Is that a layman's way to explain kind of how that works?
It's all promotion relegation.
I love that.
It's all coming out of your grassroots soccer into competitive, and wherever your level of ability takes you, we try to facilitate that. And just as you articulated, P2s, P1s, Club V clubs, what you do on the field determines where you're going to go next. And I think it's honest, it's transparent, and it's authentic as well. Mm-hmm. As you can tell by my accent, it's all about promotion relegation across the water, and I'm a big advocate of that, by the way, because you kind of find your level eventually, and we try to abide by that. We try to make it as honest and as authentic as possible. We look at some other organisations, and we have a little bit in our own. The last thing we want is the team that's sitting at the top of the bracket has a plus 64 goal difference, and the team that's at the bottom has a minus 64.
Yeah,
that's just not a great experience for anybody. And that does happen in lots of organisations, and you got to spend a bit more time on how you position these. And you're exactly right. Reducing the cost, reducing the travel is really important, but also the major factor is making sure we get the competition level right as well.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know of another league that does that right now. And I'm thinking, collegiately, Tyler, I think this mimics, because if you look at the regional league, you look at these national leagues, is they're playing games kind of on the same weekends back to back, and they somewhat get into a collegiate mindset. Okay, we're going to play, train, and you play games, this weekend, maybe Thursday, Sunday, whatever that looks like, and you're able to advance and move up as a team, and you also know that if you don't, you get booped down. I think creating that competitive environment is one of the hardest things for any club to do, and probably a league as well, to create that environment and knowing that they can move up. I think it gives them an extra level of competitiveness. I don't know, Tyler. That's.
Yeah, I mean, I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying is that there's more incentive than just to go out and play with my club,
right?
Trying to find that ulterior motive to get the most out of players could be happening within an opportunity to know we can move up and play better competition, we can stay here, and what's going to drive that. So, yeah, I can see how that would translate to not only the college level, but other professional levels that a player might want to explore.
Yeah. Are there any other leagues that do promotion relegation, Simon? You don't have to mention their names, but
there's some. I think within local member affiliates, within state associations, they have various different tiers. I think what they also have is they have a couple of meetings where they get the various club leaders together and they try to position the teams accordingly to secure them meaningful games. Unfortunately, we get the odd club that doesn't tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and that team drops into a lower league and is rather successful. But once that happens once, that's it. Then you're always wary of what you're going to do with that particular club. It doesn't necessarily happen where we're at, to be honest with you. That tends to be more just above in and around the local competitive areas. That's where they tend to be because the posturing to try and recruit players and so on and so forth. And everybody likes to attach themselves to a winning program or somebody that says that they're winning. But I mean, USYS Soccer's mission is to make this sport the preeminent one in the US. We're only going to do that by providing great experiences. The really alarming numbers are that of 10 players that start at 6-year-old, there's only probably 2 of them left by the time they hit 12.
Yep.
And they're coming back to us with, I've had a poor experience on the field, poor coaching, whatever. And that's the big push for us, is to try and keep more of them players in the game, as opposed to them finding an ulterior or a different pastime, if you will, which is a tough task right now.
Soccer just took over the 4th most popular sport in the United States. So that's the moving on up the chain. Just took over from hockey, just surpassed hockey there. So
interesting.
Yeah. So you guys are doing the right thing. So what is, I guess, last question for Simon or Tyler? Tyler may have another one. Is what is it that, I guess, separates National League? I mean, obviously there's a lot of leagues right now, but what is it that you think separates National League? It really makes you guys stand out.
I think one of the words which resonates a great deal right now is its authenticity. Its missions to provide the right level for the right player. We had 400 plus college coaches registered for the National League Pro events.
Wow.
All of them gaining game analysis, video footage, so we can try and save them on some travel expenses and so on and so forth. And the feedback from the clubs is the competition is great. It's super high level. It's really meaningful, and more importantly, the experience that they have while at the event makes it something remember. So as we know, when these kids go off to college, they'll play college. Then when they finish, they'll stop. We want to make sure that the memories that they have during their childhood while playing sport is one that they want then to pass on to their children when they have children, so we get 2nd, 3rd generation kids coming through the system. And that's how we're going to build a culture in the US. So I think the main thing is USU Soccer's, it's authentic, it's got history, it's been around a long time. It's now changing things up, and it's making some rather big moves, and we expect to see some real big announcements.
Tyler, any last words here?
No, I appreciate Simon coming on and giving us more insight and educating me more. And so, maybe I'll see you in Kansas City.
Yeah. So
looking forward to it, guys.
Big announcement. Simon Collins, you've heard it here first live on the airways. There's a big announcement coming. So the USC United Soccer Coach Convention in Kansas City, January 19th to the 23rd. There's a major announcement coming from USYS. It's probably, I don't know. I don't even know what to guess. We're going to formulate some kind of guess, Tyler. We'll bet on it. But So it's probably the switching to Capelli is what the vote is. But so Simon Collins, like I said, with the commissioner of the National League, as we dive into this. So we've learned a lot. I really appreciate it. This is, I think I got all the dumb questions out of the way, but I think it's been very helpful. And hopefully you don't wear Old Spice, because that would have been an awkward 5 minutes as we make fun of Old Spice. But other than that, yeah, thank you. Thanks for joining. We appreciate it. We'll look you up. We'll see you in Kansas City. You guys enjoy the holiday season, and that's what we have from here. So, guys, thanks so much for being on the show.